Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another movie review. Dare I say, another freaking epic. I'm talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This is the fourth film coming off of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and of course, War for the Planet of the Apes, with the amazing Andy Serkis helming that as the amazing Caesar. Now we have a whole new generation of apes and humans. And we have a pretty big star lineup. We got Freya Allen, of course, from The Witcher, Kevin Durant playing the role of Proximus, Caesar, the main ape. Got Peter Macon, Ika Darville, Owen T playing the main role of Noah. But we're not going to talk about the story. This is going to be a non-spoiler review, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in my co-hosts, Jorge and Mike. What's going on, gentlemen?
What is going on?
I don't know. I'm as sleepy as y'all, but we got to talk about this. So I just wanted to kind of pick you guys' brain, like going into this. I know me and Mike, we were blessed with the opportunity of going to CinemaCon, and we got to see a good amount of footage from this. And I think that was the thing that enticed me. Like, okay, this might be freaking epic, and thankfully it was. But for you, Jorge, like, what was it about this? Did you have any expectations for it? Like, where were you at with this?
So I came at this completely blind. I didn't watch any of the trailers, didn't see, didn't read up anything on it, and it blew me away. Just being able to kind of jump into this story, and obviously I've seen all the other Planet of the Apes. Um, but basically just being able to jump at this not knowing anything was just, I think for me, just more exciting than anything. Um, and yeah, no, this movie, it's weird because I'm still processing everything that like we saw, but it had no business being as good as it was. And I'm probably gonna repeat that multiple times, but this movie was just a banger from start to finish. I truly enjoyed it. And it literally took me by surprise, of just how much I enjoyed this film.
Yeah. Mike, again, we had a different impression coming out of CinemaCon. I think you probably saw some of the trailers. I hadn't seen any footage up until CinemaCon. But for me, I was like, one, this looks amazing. I can't differentiate when there are set pieces, actual set pieces versus CG. And that's crazy to say. But for you, Mike, expectation versus resolve in this, what you got from it?
Yeah, could we just see it in CinemaCon like the first, like I think well, not the first 15, but a part earliest part of this other film. I think like 17 minutes or so. They more expanded on it, and but again, like every single Planet Ape film in this franchise, I'm talking about the one starting with Rise of Planet Apes, have consistently been either good, great, or a masterpiece, right? And this one now kind of setting up like a new wave trilogy and stuff, especially with the timeline and everything. You'd think like, hey, when is where is it gonna drop off, right? Where is it gonna, you know, um, the franchise is probably gonna fall off and stuff like that. Usually fourth films and something like that doesn't go, but nah, this is one franchise that consistently pushes the bar and storytelling really mainly more than anything. Obviously, it's a visual masterpiece, but the story continues on to evolve and even surprise you more when you feel like it has nothing else left to tell. It has more to expand upon and also themes to address. And the way they execute those themes with many different characters, um, they definitely delivered, and actually exceeded my expectations while watching this film.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with both of you guys. I mean, the thing I'll start off with is the easy slam dunk is the visuals. This looks amazing. I think that they made a combination of certain set designs, like they actually built some sets, and then there's some stuff that's just amazing CG. But I cannot distinguish which is two. Just taking this picture for instance, like I know there's no way that's real in the background. But there's definitely something on horses. And this water is real and the backdrop is great, meaning that you got great cinematography, great tonal selection as far as the color grading, but a lot of the scenes were paced really well as well. Like there was never a misstep, in my opinion. Like most of the time, you went from funny, engaging action or something going on to emotional to you're not understanding where things are going to go. And I think that surrounding that with the way that they're handling the story is the characters. There are certain characters in this that I did not anticipate being conflicted about how I felt about them, what their ideals were, what their perspective is. And I think that that is very fluid throughout the film. And I think that's the thing more than anything that just surprised me, that completely caught me off guard. If I take this main character right here, that's played by Kevin Durant, this is Proximus. Proximus's whole ideal is I'm trying to make sure I set my people up for success. We will not be left to subjugation what we came from. And we're going to utilize what we can to make sure we elevate ourselves. But what does that mean? What do you sacrifice in doing that? And as messed up as a character like this is, there's certain themes and ideals that he's having that you're torn is like, what does that mean? And I think every single character in some way, shape, or form have their own specific motivations or prejudices or traumas that are kind of putting them in these specific places. And so I was going to see if you guys had like a favorite character or a specific way that the character progression or even the character chemistry worked for you guys.
Yeah, I think obviously the Noah character is kind of put in place as another like obviously the main character of the film, but again is he's only just also a byproduct of he's from a village, he's from a certain tribe within this world right now. Again, it's many generations um uh from Caesar's passing, but then you're seeing just how the world kind of expanded on different factions of the apes, but still having his name there. But again, he's like a person, almost like the archetype to hopefully bring back the the true aspects of Caesar that he originally was in the previous films, and that has been lost and also corrupted with these new characters and stuff like that. Definitely, you can see like an avenge story with him, but more importantly, you also see his ideals being changed, just as with his relationship with the I think it was May, or is it May or Maya, the human character, and how the biggest thing really is kind of the level of trust and understanding, but also knowing the theme of can humans and apes actually coexist, and but at the same time both of them have their own motives that go into conflict with each other, right? But they see the prejudice, see the hatred, whatever, from the enemy apes and stuff like that, but they still got their own morals. But then you have other characters come and bring like, hey, listen, the way we've been doing things, this is not what it's always have been, right? And now it's like there really isn't one side that, oh, right versus wrong. Is more of like, hey, I believe I'm fighting for my people and you're fighting for yours and stuff. And I feel like throughout history, especially when it comes to like religion, like, hey, I believe what I believe, you believe what you believe. Can we still coexist if we're from different tribes and stuff like that? And Noah is in that position where I have tradition and I keep those traditions, and that's a part of me. And then this person, where I told not to trust whatever, and you see how that interaction through circumstances throughout this film, it kind of bridged where he's conflicted and how he grows as a character, and as a leading character in this film. And I definitely think it sets seeds for, again, going back to the theme of religion, of, you can say, making Caesar this messiah type of figure, or just conqueror, whatever. And just seeing just how it evolves like through generations, and in the only in the terms of their tribes and everything like that. I feel like Dune addressed this in this past year and stuff, and I feel like that theme is currently going on today. And I actually like films doing that because it brings something new that's currently happening today in our culture. Stuff like how people corrupt famous figures, corrupting the messages of icon figures like maybe Malcolm X and or Martin Luther King and stuff like that, right? And I feel like there's many different things that they can dissect here, but I really did like that relationship between the main character Noah and also the human character May.
Okay. What about you, Roy?
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway was the storytelling that was involved. No matter which character you kind of want to talk about, you kind of get these giant arcs of all these characters. Like you see all this growth, you see all this, you understand the characters' motives throughout the whole movie. No matter how big or how small the character is within the movie. And even, I want to call him Primus, but I know that's not the guy's name.
Proximus.
Proximus, yeah.
Proximus.
Even
Yes.
with like Proximus, like you see this, this silverback who wants to lead his people. And it's very unique. Like I haven't seen good storytelling like this in a long time. Or it didn't feel repetitive. It didn't feel, like even the minor stuff of, the younger apes that were, kind of hanging out and learning the ropes. Like just kind of seeing that and seeing them build their courage throughout the film. It's really interesting kind of going and feeling like you're part of this story, like you understand these characters, you understand their backgrounds. But the storytelling just really took me like by surprise. Because it could be very easy to say like, kind of like you were saying, the visuals were spot on. You know, the action sequences were phenomenal. Like the way that they shot some of the scenes, phenomenal. Like, and being able to not distinguish between CGI and regular. It was so seamless. Like it was very much a masterpiece. And there's some images we got to see it in IMAX where you almost get engulfed in this world and you see kind of like the ruins around it and all this, and it's breathtaking, but in your mind you know that half of this isn't real. So it's very fascinating seeing how they incorporate everything. And I mean even characters, because like right here you see him like kind of holding a bird for a second. Even something as minute as, for example, like the eagle that they have here, you see that story arc and that relationship of
Mhm.
that eagle, which I find like it's something so minute, but yet it makes such a big impact throughout the film. And
Yeah.
there's a purpose for it. And I think that's the part. It's like you see a purpose to the storytelling. It's not just telling a story to tell a story. Like everything you see and every part that you're following, there's something behind it. Which I just find fascinating. Like now that from that point of view, like the storytelling, like the writers of this film did a superb job for sure.
Yeah. I think that every character that the main character Noah gets introduced to makes up certain levels of his progression as a person, as a man, as a character. When he first meets, this character right here, I'm not gonna spoil, played by Freya, like is so you don't know how to feel when they first meet.
Mhm.
And slowly but surely, progression wise, you're like, okay, man, this is a real conflict here. And it's not just surface level, it's on an internal level. And then, you meet like a character like Raka. Um, and Raka has his own perspective on how apes should even be as a people,
Yeah.
played by Peter Meccan, and he is an amazing character. And I love the different ideals that make or break who Noah has to be long term. But again, it's not just them. Like I mean, even Proximus, his mother, his friends, like everything about how this character goes on his trajectory is interwoven with amazingly set characters. And I feel like motion capture, again, with Andy Serkis, he laid the foundation of what motion capture is. And I think that somebody said that with either this film or it was another one, that they have a full behind the scenes of every single scene that they've done in motion capture that they're just going to use behind the scenes. So every single scene, you'll be able to see them act it out, feel it out. And I love that representation because you really feel every single one of these characters are coming alive. And I think it's due to their expressions, how they carry themselves, certain nuances. And it's so amazing how they do it from not just a VFX standpoint, but from a performance standpoint. And so I think that the vision with this movie is so off the charts that I need more time to digest it. But I really do think it is one of the better films I've seen this year, in all honesty. My closing thoughts on this, honestly, is go see it. This is one of those films, like an event film, much like Doom 2 or Doom Part 2. You need to go and check it out. Go check it out in IMAX if you can. Go check it in 4DX. Heck, I mean, it's gonna give you that immersive experience. I'd probably rate it between A to F. This is an A for me. A to it might be end up A+ by tomorrow for me. I really don't have any negatives with it. This was 2 hours and 25 minutes, and it didn't feel like that. And by the end of it, I was like, "Give me more, give me more." Like we are really being really tame with this review. We are trying to not give you guys anything, but there's so much there that we're holding back. So that's my closing rating and thoughts. Gentlemen, what are your closing thoughts and rating for this?
Yeah, I think I'll probably follow suit with you. I'll definitely give this an A. This was definitely, everything you expect to go see at a movie theater. You kind of got hit here. You
Yep.
got great storyline, great visuals, great sound. Like just an overall immersive experience. Um, yeah, like I'm trying to think. I would definitely recommend seeing this, in IMAX. As soon as you mentioned like the 4D though, I was just like, man, there's probably some parts that are phenomenal in this film. But no, overall, yeah, this is going to be a massive hit, and I definitely would recommend checking this out and not missing out on it. Um, and it's true. Like, there's so much we want to talk about that we can't. This being non-spoiler, which kind of kills it because I would love to do a spoiler review on this because there's so many layers to this movie that eh, it's it is a long movie, but it didn't feel long because the story was so good. And I
Right.
think that's the interesting part because we've all sat through movies that are long and they just feel long. This movie was long, but you wanted more.
Yep.
Basically exactly like how you said it, Sam. It's like as soon as it ended, like you want to know what happens. Like you want more of this film. You want more. So yeah, no, this was definitely an A. This is going to be a phenomenal film.
Yeah. Mike, closing thoughts and rating A to F.
Definitely give this an A. Again, A plus, A minus, whatever that might change, whatever, probably in the A standard or A plus range. Um, yeah, I'm very happy that this film changed my mood today. I wasn't really didn't have a really good day today, but this was good to get and also I think this film definitely hopefully when people see this film sets the stage for more to come. And again, this franchise bring back no franchises that might be dead. This one is not one of them. It continues to deliver even after its fourth installment. Um, and yeah, you guys are in for something really good. And I'm very happy that I've seen this film in all areas and everything like that. And this film should be supported. You guys should go see it in the IMAX, the biggest screen, and make sure you guys go check it out.
Yeah, you guys please go to the movies, check it out, whether it's Dolby, IMAX, 4DX, just go and check it out. You're gonna have a great time with it. As far as violence, I mean, it's not heavy on blood or anything like that. So I think that you could take your family or your kids. I mean, if you're a little hesitant on some of the subject matter, go and check it out ahead of time and then bring your kids. But this is an event film this year. Make no mistake. So, Mike, where can everybody find your content, man?
You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram at Jedi Mike 7 right here. Right
Sir, sir. And on JVS's own. Jorge, where can everybody find your content, man?
You can find me here on JVS. That is where I post most of my stuff. But yeah, no, this is you can find all my stuff here.
he's got some stuff lined up, y'all. He's cooking. Just let him cook for a little bit. But we got a lot of content coming. We've got festivals, we got cons, we got interviews. We got a lot of things coming. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Go to the description bar below. Subscribe to Mike and his content, his social. And we'll be back a little bit later on to give you a little bit more content. We can't say what it is, but we'll be back. Peace, people.
Peace.
Filing out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline.